Hi, I'm Siobhán Fletcher, one of the journalists up at Manx Radio. Welcome to the latest edition of our newscast. Now, this weekend, an Andreas woman is taking on a challenge with a difference in memory of her late husband. Darren Hignett died of bladder cancer the day before their 25th wedding anniversary last year. Now, in his memory, his wife Liz is taking on 2 major walks to raise funds for the Isle of Man Anti-Cancer Association. I sat down with Liz and Sandy Denning from the charity to find out more. First of all, could you each introduce yourself for me?
Hi, my name's Liz.
And
I'm Sandy from Isle of Man Anti-Cancer Association.
Perfect. So we're chatting today about a big kind of fundraiser that's coming up, really. Liz, do you want to tell me some more about what you're going to do and maybe a bit about why?
Okay, so in September 2023, unfortunately my husband fell asleep. He's had a 18-month fight with bladder cancer. Darren was a massive Dire Straits fan, so I've decided to do his walk of life in memory of him for his first anniversary, but also to raise, hopefully, some money for Anti-Cancer Association whilst doing that.
You've got a couple walks coming up. You're doing one across.
I am.
Clearly where you're from with this accent.
I was going to say from my terribly posh accent, I'm not from the island yet. I'm from, we were both originally from Liverpool, yeah. So I'm going to do 2 walks, one on island and one off island. So his off island walk of life, we will start where he was born. We will walk to where he grew up, to where we first met, to where we lived our first home in Liverpool, and then obviously we've got to go to Goodison Park, the second love of his life. He would turn in the end if we didn't go to Goodison Park, so we're going to Goodison Park, and then I'm going to walk back home to where we lived until we moved and raised our family really happily until we moved to the island in 2011. So that's on the weekends of the 24th and 25th of August, and I will be accompanied by Darren's sisters, my nieces and my nephews and our own children. And then the weekend of his first anniversary, which is the 14th of September and the 15th of September, I plan to walk from the sea terminal back to Andreas over the 2 days, not in one day.
Not in one day. This isn't the parish walk.
No,
we don't need
absolutely
that.
not, no.
And so that route then, the one on island, obviously you're setting off from the sea terminal. Where sort of what direction are you going and things like that?
So we're going to go the coast road. I think that's the safest. I did ponder about the mountain, but I thought, no, let's go the coast road, safest route. So we're going to start about 9 a.m. on the Saturday, and we're going to walk from the sea terminal to Laxey, get some cuppers and some cake and something from the shed maybe. And then on the Sunday, yeah, I'll be starting from Laxey and we'll walk home to Andreas, yeah, where Daz fell asleep.
I like this. This is a bit more my speed than the parish, like we were saying. That's too intense. Let's stop for some tea and cake along the way. So I love the idea of it being the walk of life and the link with Dire Straits there. So if you feel comfortable, can you tell me a little bit about him? You mean you've given us a little insight there about his music tastes, which, good music taste there.
I suppose some of his music tastes were debatable, but anyway, yeah, Darren, what can I say about Darren? So, yeah, he had a wicked sense of humour. He was such a kind, gentle soul, do anything for anyone, wouldn't he, Sandy?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a driving instructor, and if there was ever a job made for a person, that was definitely for him. Very, very laid back, nothing bothered him. And all the way through his fight, actually, he was my total inspiration. He never lost sight of, he never lost will. Whenever we never had a good scan. Every single scan, his cancer had spread somewhere else and none of his treatment plans worked, and we never looked at a scan. We never had a prognosis. It was always what's next, and just that fight, that determination was so admirable, really. But that was tantamount to who he was. Took everything in his stride, bring it on. That was his, that was his motto, bring it on, we can do this, we got this. And yeah, he was one in a million.
He sounds it, and I think as well, being a driving instructor, that takes a level of patience as well, doesn't it?
Yeah. I couldn't do that job.
I'd be one of them hitting the brakes in
Me
the
too,
in the
me
instructor
too.
side. So no, this sounds like a sort of perfect tribute to him, really. And I hope you have beautiful weather when you're actually doing it, because that would be great as well.
Well, I have asked him.
Yeah.
I've said, can you do us a favour and not make it rain on those 2 days? But no, my luck will be in the eye of the storm. But I'm doing it anyway. You know. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure. Hopefully we will.
You will.
We'll
You'll
have a
great
bit of weather,
time.
aren't we?
Well, if it rains, it'll be like that. It's typical Scouse weather, isn't it?
It is.
I'm from Widnes down the road, so it's.
Oh yeah. I was going to say you're a woolly.
Oh
bag,
yeah,
but I
you've said
can't
it now.
say that.
It's on record. It's on record. But yeah, we're all used to the Manx weather. It's not much different over there.
No.
So this is brilliant. So if anyone's listening and they want to get involved or they want to donate to the cause or anything like that, how can they get involved?
So I've only kind of put it out on my own Facebook page, but I know Sandy has shared it on the Anti-Cancer Association.
Yeah, it's on our
as
Facebook
well.
page, and there's a link there to Liz's Just Giving page.
Yeah, so yeah, anyone who wants to join, anyone who wants to donate, please feel free. And let's get some money in that cancer research part, really.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you have a sort of goal that would be amazing? Do you know?
I've put 500 because I appreciate times of testing and everyone's kind of, feeling the pinch a little bit. So £500 would be great, but no limit. Sky's the limit. Let's see what we can get.
Perfect. And so, Sandy, this is another example of great fundraising here on the island for a great cause. What's it like for the charity to sort of get, people doing stuff like this, and it's such personal stories as well?
It's a personal stories. It's great for Liz to be doing it for our charity. We're very, very grateful because the main aim is to raise money for research. We're very passionate about that, but we're also very passionate about raising awareness. And this is an opportunity to kind of raise the awareness of bladder cancer, which is what I'd like to do, really, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll chat about that in just a second. So, Liz, it was bladder cancer. We've chatted about cervical cancer before, a whole range of them, really. Was it something, I guess, that you were aware of, or maybe Darren was aware of? I'm sure we're going to go through some stats and some facts and figures here, but was it a cancer you'd never really thought about?
Never. And Darren was 51, fine, fit and healthy, had never smoked, didn't drink. Had the odd vice, he liked a spicy curry now and then, but yeah, just and somebody who you wouldn't think that would happen to, and I think that's what was more shocking, really. There was no predisposition to it in his family, no family history or anything, and he was young to have it, and unfortunately it was really, really aggressive. He had quite major surgery. He was diagnosed in October 21. He had quite major surgery in March 22, and we thought that was it. We thought after the surgery, bladder out, we were on our road to recovery, and unfortunately that wasn't to be it. It had escaped out of the bladder into the bladder wall and into his lymph, and then from there, we just went from strength to strength. I know that sounds like an odd way to put things, but it did, and no matter what we did, it just didn't work. And actually, interestingly enough, on the Just Giving page, I've posted a photograph of Darren because I talk a lot about hope. That's what kept us going. Hope that we'd get our life back, hope that the surgery would work, hope that we'd have a good scan, hope that the treatment would work. And the picture that I've posted on the Just Giving page is of him when he got his clinical trial. So he tried chemotherapy, that didn't work. We tried immunotherapy, that didn't work. And we were lucky enough, his oncologist managed to find him a clinical trial. And the photo that I've posted on his Just Giving page is of him when he got that trial medication, and he took the first tablet, really. So I say, we hoped that we'd have a good scan. We hoped that we'd have our wonderful grandchildren one day. We hoped that we'd celebrate, because he fell asleep, typically the day before our 25th wedding anniversary. So we hoped, we'd always celebrate our 30th, our 40th, our 50th. And I actually put on the Just Giving page, if you ever wondered what hope looks like, look at his face, because that was hope for us.
Yeah. Okay, well, so Sandy, let's talk about bladder cancer then. What do we know about it?
Right, this type of cancer affects over 10,000 people in the UK, and it's more prevalent in males than females. You mostly see it in the over 60s, although, as we have been hearing, it can affect younger people. The bladder is part of the body system that filters waste products out of your blood and makes urine. Bladder cancer arises from the cells on the inner lining of the bladder, and these cells can form small polyp-like structures which can be present for some time if detected early enough and can be treated without the need for major surgery.
So some of those statistics there are quite strong, and even that idea that it's more prevalent in males than females. And like I say, we've talked about breast cancer, cervical cancer, traditionally more female cancers. This is slightly different. So if anyone's listening, then what are the main symptoms to watch out for?
The main symptoms of bladder cancer is blood in your urine. This is the same for both men and women. So bladder cancer can also cause problems with passing urine. 80% of people with bladder cancer will have some blood in their urine. So if you're able to see it, it sometimes looks bright red, or very rarely it can be a dark brown. Sometimes the blood is there in such small amounts that you can't see it, but a urine test will pick it up. The blood may not be there all the time, and it can come and go. So it's just to be aware of that, really. Other symptoms of bladder cancer can include passing urine very often, so a frequency to it, an urgency to it as well, pain or burning sensation when passing urine, weight loss for no reason, a pain in your back, lower tummy or bones, feeling tired and unwell. So that's when it's probably more advanced than just, the first stages.
And we don't want to scare anyone, but anyone who's listening and they're thinking, some of these symptoms sound familiar. What should people do if they're worried about it?
As we always say, if you ever see anything that you're not sure about, if you see blood in your urine, please, please, please go to see your GP. And it might be helpful to do a little diary. So tell your GP whether that you saw blood when you started to pee. Was the blood mixed with the urine or that you passed? Did you have any pain when you passed the urine? Was there any blood in it? And any problems, really?
So again, like anyone listening, it's a lot of symptoms. There's a lot of different things to look out for. Liz, what was your experience? What was Darren's experience?
So Daz didn't really have any pain, no symptoms really, other than blood in his urine. And to be fair, we went straight to the GP. He was seen that day. He was seen within 2 weeks, in the wonderful urology department at Nobles. Big shout out to them, really. And that's where our journey began. But prior to that, he didn't exhibit anything else other than that. And thankfully, that happened because we wouldn't have known otherwise. And I think because it is so silent in some respects, by the time, obviously, he'd had that symptom, he'd had the blood in his urine, it was, I don't want to say too late because it wasn't too late, because he had his surgery and stuff, but yeah, that was the first indication really, there was nothing else.
Yeah.
So it is being vigilant, I think, and if you're unsure, please just get checked out, please get checked out, because although we have those statistics, it does affect younger people. He was fine, fit and healthy, didn't smoke, didn't drink, led a healthy lifestyle, and I think that's always, one of the drivers really for this is to be vigilant. And if you do notice anything, there's no harm in getting that checked out. It's better to get it checked out than not really.
Mm-hmm. And that's always the message of the charity as well, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. Don't feel like you're bothering your GP. No. We have to be body aware these days, and I know it can be difficult. And you don't want to bother anybody, but if it doesn't feel right for you, please go and do something about it. It's 10 minutes of your time. And these symptoms are much more likely to be caused by other conditions rather than cancer. For example, a urine infection in men, the symptoms could be caused by an enlarged prostate. So tell your doctor straight away if you've got any of these symptoms. If it's an infection, it can be treated with antibiotics. If it's cancer, then hopefully, you've caught it early, and early detection, it does help, for an easier journey for the patient.
Mm-hmm. And as always, we'll have all the sort of information you need, all these signs and symptoms, and we'll signpost you anywhere you need through our website. And just good luck, Liz. I feel like it's a couple of big challenges there, and we'll all be cheering you on.
Oh,
and,
thank you. I really appreciate that.
And it's brilliant. It's just another example of, like I said earlier, these fantastic fundraisers for such good causes on the island. And I think I can speak for anyone listening as well. Thank you for coming and sharing your experience, because it's raw and it's tough to share, and I appreciate it. So thank you so much.
We appreciate it very much as well. Thank you, Liz, and we wish you the best of luck.
Oh, thank you very much. Can I just do 2 shout-outs?
Of course you can. Yeah, of course you can. No problem.
So the first shout-out is to a group of wonderful second-year pre-registration student nurses who very recently, with a couple of my colleagues, the lecturers up at Kildare, did a charity spin class in aid of Anti-Cancer Association and in memory of Daz, and they raised a whopping £360. So thank you very much.
Amazing. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, and I was there in spirit. I know I wasn't there physically, but I was there in spirit, and thank you ever so much for your unwavering support over the last 18 months. It's meant the world to me. And the other shout out is to my My cousin Pete McMurray, who is also currently on a little journey raising money for the Anti-Cancer Association by doing a bunch of 5s. So he's basically, since the 1st of January this year, challenged himself every day to do either a 5-kilometre run, a 5-mile walk, or 500 reps, which comprises of 100 press-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, 100 burpees, and 100 dumbbells. It makes my challenge look insignificant. And he's also give up for the whole year beer, sugar, meat, dairy and breakfast, so he doesn't eat between midnight and midday.
How's he doing it?
Pete.
I don't know.
Keep going.
And he is still up. But he was also touched by cancer. He lost his dad and my wonderful Uncle Jim in 2009. So yeah, I think that's his motivation for doing that. But yeah, he's got a Just Giving page as well, and he's hoping to raise £3,660 because this year is a leap year, so he wants to do a 10 a day.
I love it.
A 10 a day.
And that is it. And that's, you touched on another point there, like this is the key as well, is, you know, cancer will touch all of our lives in some way. Everyone's got a family member or knows someone. So yeah, it's key to keep raising awareness. So
absolutely, yeah.
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you again to Liz and to Sandy for coming up to the studio to have a chat with me. If you'd like to support Liz's fundraiser, you can find the link to her Just Giving page on our website. She's already surpassed that initial goal of £500, but as she said, the sky's the limit. And just before you go, I wanted to share this lovely message that Sandy gave us while she was up here.
So as I said before, we are passionate about raising awareness, and Manx Radio have been so supportive over the years. So I'd like to take this opportunity to wish Manx Radio a very happy 60th birthday and to thank you all for helping us to get our awareness message out there. To date, we've recorded 39 podcasts. Just go to the main website, click on the podcast tab, and you can scroll down and see the Alum and Anti-Cancer, where you'll be able to see a range of topics that we've covered over the last 3 years.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Yeah, we'll take it. We'll take the birthday message.
Thank you for making it to the end of the Manx Radio newscast. You are obviously someone with exquisite taste. May I politely suggest you might want to subscribe to this and a wide range of Manx Radio podcasts at your favourite podcast provider so our best bits will magically appear on your smartphone. Thank you.